Good morning, everybody. Charlie here with Red Summit RF. Today I am continuing my series on portable Morse Code Paddles. Welcome back to those of you who have been following along, and if you're new to the channel, I hope that you find these videos useful. Well, today I have a new paddle that I borrowed from a friend of mine. I met up with Jason at 4 Days in May, and he offered to lend this paddle to me. It's the BaMaTech TP-II, and it's the big brother of the TP-III. So I hope you enjoy this video. Before we get on over to the bench, let me remind you that there are a lot of good comments that are left in each of these videos that I publish. And so if you're watching this video and you're thinking about maybe buying this paddle, make sure you check the comments in the video to see what else others might have added to their feedback on the paddle. So with that, let's get on over to the bench and check it out. While attending 4 Days in May in 2024, I met up with my friend Jason K8TSG, who offered to lend me his BaMaKey TP-II for review on this channel. It was a generous offer, and I accepted. Jason has a YouTube channel called Hammock Radio, and so go ahead and check out his YouTube channel. I'll put a link below in the description. So the BaMaKey TP-II twin paddle key is a creation of BaMaTech in Germany. And I don't know if it's Bama or Bama, but I'll probably use them interchangeably, whatever. So it's owned and operated by Markus DL6YYM. It's a bit larger than the TP-III, which kind of puts it in the mid-class range of paddles for portable use, maybe even the high end of portable use paddles. But a good feature of this paddle is it can also be used as a bench paddle. And let me move the TP-II out of the way, 3 out of the way, and so here's a base that it comes with, and it's magnetic, and I'll show you this again probably in the video, but at any rate, you can use it as a base station paddle or as a portable paddle. While this is larger than most paddles I review, it's still quite a good paddle for portable use, and so I'll go ahead and review it and compare it using the same standard and criteria as I usually do. I took this paddle out for a couple of months, activating over 10 summits with it, and so I have a pretty good feel for how it performs. It sells on the BaMaTech website for €206, which is $227, and you can buy the black color like this one, or it comes in red also. And for an additional cost, you can also purchase this base plate that I told you about earlier, which is right here, and I don't know what that goes for, but maybe I'll put a thing up here. The design of the paddle is for portable use and also for a base station, as I mentioned, and it's made of this hard iodized aluminum housing, which is really cool, and it also has this acrylic see-through top, which is actually thicker than I've seen on other stuff, so it's really nice. It's fully adjustable with the spacing and with the tension with these screws here, and I'll show you more about that. So inside, you can see the inside and kind of see that through the acrylic, which is nice. The tension is magnetic driven, so there's magnets here in the back. Both the tension and the spacing are easily adjustable, and it's made of brass parts inside here that are chrome plated, and includes the ball bearings in there as well somewhere, which makes really for a smooth operation. So let me throw up the comp charts here, the comparison charts, and show you how this compares. So the weight categories are something I've figured out using an algorithm with the ChatGPT. So the low, the medium, and the high categories are based on my previous reviews. So this weighs 200 grams with the cable, and the cable is provided but not detachable. So you have to probably take this apart or send it in or something to replace it if you need be. So this puts it way out on the top range, way above the high category range for weight. When it comes to the volume, it's 107 cubic centimeters, which again puts it, up there with the higher volume paddles. This is quite a bit bigger than a lot of the ones that I've reviewed. So it has a length of 10.7 centimeters, a width of 5 centimeters, and then a height of 2 centimeters, and that includes these stands here on the bottom. To make adjustments to the lever, as I mentioned, you would use these screws on this side and then also on this side, and you would be able to just use those to adjust the spacing here and the tension here to your liking. I mentioned earlier that it comes with a mounting plate for use with a base station, and so I showed you that just a minute ago, but there it is, and it gets right in there. And so that's a really nice plus with this, but there are no magnets on the bottom of this that I'm aware of. I mean, I tried putting it on a couple of metal things and it didn't attach. So I think this is the magnetic part here. So that really means that there is no real mounting options for this out in the field. There's no place for a strap or their magnetics. But I really enjoy operating this paddle out in the field. I'm one who holds the paddle rather than mounting it on a radio, so it doesn't really matter to me what mounting options it has personally. The agility to it is just amazing. When you adjusted it really tight, have tight contact spacing, and it just works perfectly for me. As I mentioned earlier, there's this cable in the back that is part of the whole paddle setup, and it doesn't come out. So it does have the 3.5 millimeter pin in the other end, and then it looks like Jason added a little choke there for RF. Okay, let's go ahead and get the grading done and show you what I think the grades are. I always emphasize that these are my thoughts and others have different opinions. That's just the way it is with these paddles. Most Morse code paddles is all a matter of preference, but I have kind of my own criteria, so let's hop in. So first we're going to talk about cost. For the cost, I'm going to give it a grade of a B. I think that the cost of this paddle is fair, and it's a little bit on the high end of cost, $227. But on the same token, you are getting a really high quality paddle, and I really mean that. This is a great paddle, very high quality. But if you throw in shipping from Germany and then you throw in the cost of the plate and stuff like that, it can really put the cost up there, the international shipping especially, and then that base plate if you wanted that. It becomes expensive, but I still think it's a fair price for what you pay for it. Durability, this paddle is made almost entirely of metal except for the acrylic top here. So it seems to be quite durable, and it should last a really long time. It really feels hefty and very solid. So durability is an A. Now we'll talk about the weight here for a minute. Remember that I review paddles that are for portable use. And so when you use the criteria that I use for evaluating whether a paddle is light and not very heavy, when you would take on a backpacking trip or something like that, or a lot of soda activations, then this falls way out of the low weight category and above the high weight category, so it has to be a D here for this. So, but don't forget, this is a little bit different paddle one that I normally wouldn't review, except for the fact that I have it and borrowed it. So yeah, a weight of a D is where I think I'm going to remain on the weight of this. When it comes to the size is a little bit better, but again, it's on the high or at least the average category. So the size is going to be a C. It's maybe tipping into the high category, but I think a C is a good grade for this. When it comes to agility, there's no question in my mind it deserves an A. It performs very well. I had no problems with it at all, and it feels really good, solid, and I can send with it without any mistakes at all. It's just a high quality paddle with very excellent agility. When it comes to customer service, I have no problem giving it the grade of an A. Markus really takes pride in his work and in his business, and he is very responsive. I know him through email, and he's answered all kinds of questions for me, and is very easy to reach. And he always packages all of his products very well and ships them with a little extra stuff. So yeah, customer service, definitely an A. As far as the enclosure goes, yeah, it's completely enclosed. The criteria is if it's completely enclosed, it gets a pass grade, in which case this does. It's covered with this acrylic. Dirt really can't get in much, if at all. So a very nice job there. Okay, when it comes to mounting, I'm going to have to give it a D. There are not a lot of options here. It really just that base plate for the bench operation. I would say that this paddle is more in line with a traveler paddle or a bench paddle rather than a true portable paddle. I mean, you can travel with it, and what I mean by traveler versus portable, in my mind, a portable paddle is something that you would be able to take backpacking, take on hikes, and not weigh your pack down a whole lot. On the other hand, a traveler paddle, something you would operate out of a suitcase, maybe you're going on a vacation and you could use the traveler paddle like this. You might also use it for a drive-up POTA operation, but something definitely you wouldn't put in your backpack. So for that reason, I'm going to give it a D. You know, there's no magnets on the bottom either. If there were magnets on the bottom where you could attach it, then that would at least give it something and put it in the C range. As far as beauty goes, I'm giving it an A. The machining craftsmanship on this paddle is excellent. It's a very nice looking paddle, and I really think it's that Markus did a great job with this. So beauty, an A. Okay, that wraps up my thoughts on this key. So let's go ahead and get it plugged into the radio and give it a test run. Okay, everybody, that is it. The BaMaKey TP-II, the big brother of the BaMaTech TP-III. It's a great paddle for traveling out of your suitcase, and it's really good as a bench key in your shack. Maybe not the best for doing portable operations, although you can use it for portable operations. If you're backpacking and do a lot of soda, maybe you stick with the TP-III. If you're a POTA, light POTA operator, a traveler, then maybe you would want to use this paddle. So I hope you enjoyed that review. Don't forget that this is a series, and so I will be reviewing several other paddles coming up. Come on back and check those out. There's some pretty interesting ones that I have. It seems like I always have a queue of 2 or 3, and that's not any different this time. I do have 3 other paddles that I'm looking at right now. So come on back, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for following along, everybody. 73.